On the contrary, a well-known Kazakh human rights activist Evgeny Zhovtis could soon be amnestied. This idea was voiced by his colleague, the expert of the Presidential Commission on Human Rights, Vladimir Levin. Currently, Zhovtis is serving a 4-year sentence in a colony settlement near Ust-Kamenogorsk. Evgeny Zhovtis himself doesn't intend to appeal the verdict. 3 weeks ago, the Supreme Court's supervisory board refused to consider the petition submitted by his attorney Vitaly Voronov. After that, the human rights activist was offered to address the Supreme Court of the prosecutor's office himself, but the ex-head of the Kazakh Human Rights Bureau considered this unnecessary. He said, quote, "I have no intention to continue playing the game called justice, the Kazakh way." Nevertheless, experts of the Presidential Commission on Human Rights believe Zhovtis could be amnestied in the near future in light of the forthcoming 12th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence and the 17th birthday of the head of state. Since several well-publicized events are on the horizon, they will be accompanied with an amnesty, and Zhovtis falls under the conditions. We definitely miss and need him as a human rights defender. To the other news, numerous steppe fires are reported in eastern Kazakhstan, with the disaster already destroying the area of several thousand hectares. The situation is also worsened by the actions of the local population. Find out more from the next report.
The devastating spring floods in eastern Kazakhstan were followed by the steppe fire. The Beskargan region suffered the most, as in 2 weeks the fire has obliterated an area of 3,000 hectares of land there. The emergency ministry has reported about more than a dozen steppe fires in the region already.
It is very hard to find the person who caused the emergency. However, according to the results of the preliminary investigation, it was indeed the negligence of the local population that caused the fire.
Environment specialist Dmitry Georgiev is concerned that the rapid spread of fire can destroy the arable lands of the entire region and subsequently change the local flora and fauna.
Annual seed resources are being wiped out, which will lead to the change of the local flora. The past severe winter caused much of the cattle to die due to the lack of fodder, and now large areas burn out, which will also affect the local cattle breeding.
The situation is worsened by the population disposing of garbage and dry grass through the burning, as bonfire can be found almost on every street in the suburbs. Almost 1,000 of garbage and dry grass burning have been already registered in the region. Firemen have to react to up to 30 emergency calls every day.
We always have water and rags handy, as fires are quite frequent here. Last time our fence caught fire and we were unable to put it out.
Representatives of the emergency department says that those responsible for fires will be punished eventually, but only if the offender will be caught red-handed. Thus far, there were only few cases like that, and the inspectors in the region issued only 10 fines for the total amount of $430.
Dairy producer Foodmaster is now acting as a defendant in court, dodging charges of contempt for supplies and purchased primary products. The next report has more on what farmers want.
Farmer Margarita Firsova accused the management of company Foodmaster of causing her damage. She says that the company understated the quality of purchased milk, which accumulated to the loss of $54,000 over 2 years. Now Margarita asked for the compensation of not only direct losses, but also moral damages at the amount of more than $68,000.
When the milk is being picked up, the quality is being analyzed thoroughly, using exactly same reagents as those used by Foodmaster. However, the results later differ for some reason.
Meanwhile, last year the court has already cancelled the dissolution of an agreement initiated by the Foodmaster. The management of the company believes it became a victim of a smear campaign.
In the past, our company had terminated the contract with this particular milk supplier. She felt offended, and after gathering together several other offended people, she entered a foreplay.
Unfortunately, it is quite difficult to prove something now. Attorney Galina Dusembayeva says that Firsova was not only supplier of the company, and the milk tanker always serviced several farms, thus mixing the milk.
If milk of different fat content, density and acidity will be mixed in a jar, nobody will be able to pinpoint different suppliers. This is exactly what we're trying to prove.
The ongoing litigations forced the farm to temporarily suspend operations, while the farmer is looking for cooperation with other dairy companies. Independently of the court's decision, Firsova is not intent to cancel her cooperation with Foodmaster. She says it's nothing personal, just business.
These were all the latest updates from Kazakhstan. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.